Hello, good afternoon. You've tuned into Your Stocks coming live from the CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal studios. I'm Vinny Motiwala. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. Firstly, happy festivities to all of y'all. Hope y'all have a great festive season as well as Dussehra that is there tomorrow as well. But let's start with the markets because that's celebrating the festive season as well, because after 8 days of a decline, we're seeing that the markets are back today in the green. 0.6% of gain is what we're seeing coming in for the Nifty 50 right now. Even the broader end of the markets, right, that is also managing to hold on to that green, so no complaining on that front as well. We're seeing a good move for the Nifty mid cap as well as the small cap in today's trading session. Nifty Bank, that's the one that's doing well and supporting gains as well. 1.25% gain for the Nifty Bank as of now. 55,300 above the mark is what the Nifty Bank is trading at. So no complaining today in terms of that. Broader end of the market's doing well. Advance decline ratio, let's pull that up and see clearly in the favor of advances is what we're looking at versus the decline. Look at the gap between the advances and decline. So good day coming in for the markets. No complaining in terms of the performance from the broader end or even the benchmark indices. But this is a show where we solve all your stock-related queries, and we're going to be doing just that with Somil Mehta, Head of Alternate Research, Capital Market Strategy at Mirae Asset Sharekhan, as well as Parthiv Shah, Director at Tracom Stock Brokers. Parthiv as well as Somil, good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us as always. Somil, a quick check in terms of the markets. I want to understand Nifty as well as Nifty Bank. What are we keeping an eye out on now in terms of levels? I think you're on mute, Somil.
Apologies, Vinny. Afternoon to you. Afternoon to everyone. Very exciting time right now. An ending diagonal pattern has broken on the upside, and I'm expecting this bounce to continue till the first target is 24,920. That is my first target, and the next target is 25,000. So these are the two targets for Nifty, and the support, very crucial support, is at 24,580. So this is a very crucial support in the short term. I'm expecting this bounce to continue for the Bank Nifty as well. The target for Bank Nifty is 55,840, and the support is today's low for Bank Nifty, which is going to be very crucial going forward.
Okay, keeping an eye out on those levels over there. Thanks for that, Somil. But let's get started with those stock-related queries. The first query for today is coming from Satish Kumar. He's writing to us from New Delhi. He's holding 50 shares of Sona BLW. This is at a price of 415 rupees per share, so around the buy price right now. The other one is Infibeam Avenues is what they're holding. 3,456 shares at a price of 16 rupees. Again, it's trading around the buy price. Parthiv, good afternoon. What is the prospect of both these stocks? Can they continue to hold this for the long term?
Good afternoon. See, I think firstly talking about Sona BLW, I think it's a very well-run company. The only caveat being that recently, unfortunately, we had the sad demise of the chairman emeritus, Mr. Sanjay Kapoor, post which I think we saw some sort of family feud, which did plague the sentiment. But I'm sure I think the company, which is very professionally run, will find a way out. And more importantly, I think the levels at which the investors invested is after the massive correction that we have seen in this counter. Because I think it was factoring in the quarter one underperformance. There were four reasons why the company didn't do well in quarter one. One was delayed in some EV-related revenue recognition from some of the prominent European customers. And also there was some demand slowdown in the EV segment in the global customers. Plus, I think China's ban on the heavy rare earth magnets also created some scare for the company. And obviously, the US tariff uncertainty always creates problems for such companies which are into exports. But the good news is that the order book is at all-time high. They're sitting at almost 26,200 crores of order book, which is highest in the history of the company. And especially the EV order share is almost 75%. So we are very confident that going ahead, I think the order book execution will take place. This was one of lumpy quarter. So long-term outlook for this company, according to us, is very good. So hold on to it. I'm sorry, I don't track Infibeam revenues.
Okay, that's the word on Sona BLW on the fundamental front. Somil, on the technical, Sona BLW as well as Infibeam, and Sona BLW, given that it's seen a correction also YTD, how are you looking at it in terms of charts now?
For Sona BLW, it is in the downtrend. below 20 and 40 daily moving average. I don't see this, turning around anytime soon. I'm expecting the previous swing lows to be retested around 380. So that will be my target for Sona BLW. On the upside, the resistance will be around 430 and 440, which is 20 and 40 daily moving average. But the view remains negative. So exit would be my strategy for Sona BLW. Which one was the next stock?
Infibeam Avenue, Somil. It's a very small stock. I don't think everyone tracks it regularly. Infibeam Avenue.
Infibeam. Yes. Okay. So this stock has a little potential, I think. In the short term, in the medium term, both looking all right to me. Should hold on to this stock. Support would be around 15.60. That will be the support, but I'm expecting good rally in this stock till 19 rupees. So hold is my suggestion, but not a fresh buying.
Okay, hold as a suggestion, no fresh buying right now there. But let's move on to the next query then for today. We have PN Giri, who's writing to us from Chennai. He is holding 607 shares of Yes Bank. Price is 106 rupees per share, asking whether to remain invested or switch to some other name. Parthiv, your view coming in for Yes Bank. Obviously, from the levels that they have bought, I think they bought just a long time ago, and now you're seeing that fall that has continued. But what is the view now for Yes Bank? Do you think that we could see some bit more of a recovery?
We need not only the levels, but I think the most important factor is the price at which the gentleman has bought. At that juncture, the equity capital was hovering somewhere around 300 to 400 crores. Currently, the equity capital is almost 6,200 crores. And that is the place where we know that there has been a massive equity dilution for all the existing shareholders because of all the troubles that the bank had gone into. And there was requirement of new capital infusion, getting the confidence back by having people like SBI, Kotak, all chip in. And I think post the dilution, currently, if we see the market cap at levels of around 2021, the market cap is 67,000 crore. Even if the gentleman were to wait to get his price back, which means that he will need to get a market cap of almost 3,35,000 crore. This is the type of market cap when Yes Bank did have during its heydays, but I think looks very, very unlikely that that will happen anytime soon. This is despite the fact that recently SMC, Sumitomo Bank from Japan, has taken a stake, and they will do all the right things. And already the bank has turned around, giving good return ratios. But I think it's going to be very difficult to get back to its price. At the best, I think if the viewer has confidence in this bank's long-term prospects, one can cost average, but we prefer investing into other private sector lenders like ICICI Bank or an HDFC Bank or a Kotak Bank for long-term purpose.
Okay. Somil, your view for Yes Bank?
Yes Bank in the very short term, yes, definitely looking good in the very short term. Taken support at 20 daily moving average, high top, high bottom formations. Great setup, an inverted head and shoulder pattern is also forming. So I'll be expecting a target of 23 and 25 levels max. And I'm not suggesting to hold on for a long term or a medium term outlook. A short term trade is all right to me, but not in the medium term or long term.
But what is the level that they can keep an eye out on then in the short term? Because they bought it at around 100 levels.
In the short term, the target is not more than 25. So that's the target I have.
Okay, 25 is the target for short term only, not a long term story, according to Somil on the charts and technicals. Let's move on but to the next query then. This is from Rajat Jain, who's writing to us from New Delhi. He's holding 200 shares of Tata Motors. Price is 100 rupees per share. Wants to know if he can remain invested for the long term for Tata Motors. Parthiv, your view for Tata Motors. Obviously, we have that division that's coming in now for the CV and PV. The record date has also come as 14th of October. But your view, they bought it at 100. 700 is what the stock is trading at. Should they book part profits or continue to just remain invested?
No, I think he can certainly hold on to this. One, his cost price is abysmally low. He's already sitting on 7 times returns on that. And I think today only it is announced that Tata Motor again regains the second spot in the passenger vehicle segment, which is, I think, a huge achievement, beating likes of Hyundai and M&M. So they are doing fantastically well in the domestic front, especially now that they have new pipeline of products in the EV segment. I think the volume growth should come back very strong. And that is what they're guided for, and all the stimulus that the government has given, especially for the premiumization and the premium car segment. I think that should benefit likes of Tata Motors pretty well, who's focusing on that strategy. Even the JLR, I think, despite all the difficulties in terms of the business due to the tariffs, and more importantly, I think they are under a lot of cost-cutting measures. And the China market is expected to bounce back within the next 6 months. So I believe that JLR should also start contributing going ahead. And I firmly believe that the demerger move by the management, especially segregating the passenger vehicle division and the commercial vehicle division, I think it's a very good move because that will certainly unlock a lot of value, because we know that generally the CV segment is a lot more attributed with the cyclicality and doesn't come up high premium. So I believe Tata Motors is a good buy here and also hold on to the position for the long term.
Sure. And Somil, your view for Tata Motors?
Tata Motors, in the very short term, yes, it has done really well, and I was not expecting Tata Motors to start making high tops, high bottom, but I think from here on, short term definitely gets a target of around 740-45 levels. But in the medium term outlook, it has been making low tops, low bottoms. So I'll be waiting till 700, close above 750. Once we get a close above 750, I think the next level on the upside would be 820.
Okay, keeping an eye out on those levels over there. But on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break, viewers. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll still be discussing more stock-related queries. Stay tuned in for that. Welcome back to Your Stocks on CNBC-TV18. We still have with us Somil Mehta as well as Parthiv Shah to answer all those doubts. Let's move on to the next query for today. We have Lijo Jose, who's writing to us from Kuwait. And he's holding 250 shares of Bandhan Bank. The price is 500 rupees per share. Wants to know, should he continue to hold, sell, average? Parthiv, what should they be doing with Bandhan Bank, given their buy price is really high?
Very frankly, I think I'm not a big fan of a bank which is predominantly operating in the microfinance segment. And currently, Bandhan Bank, like the rest of the industry peers in the microfinance space, is navigating a very challenging environment. No doubt, I think they're making all the right moves in terms of trying to improve the efficiency, trying to improve the asset quality. But this is which tends to plague the valuations for such players. They have done reasonably well in the liability side, but my sense is I think the investors better off switching his money into frontline private sector players like, say, ICICI Bank or HDFC Bank. I think over a longer horizon from these valuations, I think these banks are well positioned to grow the credit growth, and also I think do very well for the investors.
And Somil, your view for Bandhan Bank?
Bandhan Bank, not in the medium term, definitely. In the very short term, yes, a good run up, great setup. An ending diagonal pattern has been forming, so I'll be expecting this, pattern to target at least 177. But in the medium term outlook, still in the low top, low bottom formation, till the time we do not get a close above 178 levels, I won't be going long in the medium term outlook to long term outlook. In the short term, yes, great setup.
Okay, keeping an eye out on Bandhan Bank over there. Next query for today, we have Adi Narayan, who's writing to us from New Delhi. He's holding 120 shares of Praj Industries. This is at a price of 375 rupees per share. They're making a loss on this one as of now. Wants to know, can he add more shares at the current level, or if he should sell at these levels? Parthiv, your view for this one?
Certainly not comfortable to suggest adding more at this juncture, because I think if you see last many quarters, the company has not been executing well. There has been massive drop in volume and delayed project executions. There has been increase in on-site expenses due to which the margins have kind of really collapsed. And also the Genex business expenses, have been inching up. So no doubt the company has not had any loss of orders of sort, and the order book is pretty healthy for long-term execution. The management was not very upbeat even for Q2, and only from H2 of this year, they were expecting better growth prospects. So what I would suggest is don't add more to your position. Rather wait till execution in Q3, Q4. If the management, whatever they've guided for, happens, I think then the investor will be able to recoup their cost and also have some upside to exit.
Okay, Next query for today, we have Manoj, who's writing to us from Sweden. He's holding 75 shares of Waaree Energies. Price is 2,850 rupees per share. Wants to know the prospects of the stock. Somil, what's your view in terms of levels that they should be keeping an eye out on for the long term?
Waaree Energy looks good to me in the very short term, in the medium term, both trading about 20 and 40 daily moving average, trading about 200 daily moving average. Very good setup. Hold on to this stock. In the medium term outlook, I'll be expecting a target of at least 3,880. That would be my target. On the downside, the support would be around 200 daily moving average, which is 2,900 levels, close to 2,900 levels, but it's a very good opportunity to buy at this point of time because we've seen a good correction. So buy on decline should be the strategy from here.
Buy on decline should be the strategy from here for the stock right now. But Parthiv, your view for the long term for Waaree Energies?
The long-term prospects looks very, very promising, despite the fact that the trail valuations are a little bit on the expensive side. What they're targeting is by FY27 to have a module capacity of almost 26 gigawatt, which is currently at 10 gigawatt. They're also looking to up the cell capacity to 16 gigawatt, which is currently at around 5.4. Even gigawatt and the wafer capacity will go up to 10 gigawatt. So I think the company is working hard in terms of trying to execute the huge order book that they have in the pipeline and also go fully backward integrated. And I think the company is guided for FY26 EBITDA guidance of around 5,000, 6,000 crore, which puts the valuation around 19 times. But based on the prospects of FY27, I think the investor can hold on to the stock and probably expect an upside of 20-25% for them.
Okay, that's the view coming in there for Waaree Energies on the fundamentals. But Somil as well as Parthiv, thank you so much for joining us on the show and, giving us those stock-related answers which everyone has sent in terms of queries. Thank you so much for joining us. But with that, a quick check in terms of what the market is doing. We'll look at it in terms of Nifty, 0.8% of gain for the Nifty 50, 24,800. Look at it in terms of Sensex, also managing to hold on to good gains. Bank Nifty, that's leading the charts, right? 1% gain you can see there, as well as the broader end of the market is too seeing good traction in today's trading session. 0.5% of gains coming in from the broader end of the market as well. So a good day that we'll be ending here this edition of Your Stocks as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, viewers. Remember, you can always send us your queries and you will have the email ID of the queries flashing at the top of the screens for you all as well. Do send us your queries. Don't go anywhere. Last hour of trade is still left and you have closing bell up next.